YouTube, I'm gonna start by saying this. If you ever see me on the news, know I whip my assistant's ass. Okay? Anyway, so we're gonna go with all the questions. I went and took all of you guys' emails, notifications, everything from everywhere that I got them, and we put them on some paper, and now here we go. It's time to get close and personal and answer your questions. But these set of questions have shocked the hell out of me. Some of them I was like, wow, like what happened? Like, who told you to do that? But at the same time, I understand it is what it is. So let's get to it. First, we got just Jesus Girl. She wants to combine her sister locks by two stranding and sewing the ends. But her concerns were, will the two-strand pattern go away? Will the locks mesh together even if they are matured prior to combining? No, the two-strand method won't go away. That pattern won't go away over time because of the way that the two-strand is done. It's twisted, then wrapped. So actually, I would just twist them regularly, and they would kind of give a swirl. But when the hair starts to crawl, that swirl will definitely go away. I've done it personally myself, and it works. Um, and yes, they will combine, even if the sister locks will mature. Sister locks mature on a different level than a twisted mature lock or a twisting lock. They just the whole pattern and the whole understanding is completely different. So you have a lot of different hairs there, and a lot of people that are interlocking, you do have a lot of frizzier hairs, a lot of frizzing coming from that because of the method that you chose is a level of free forming. So that helps on that level. Vanessa, the craftical, I think that's your name. What is the proper way to go natural when your hair is slightly permed and nappy at the same time? What styles can be worn? It depends on pretty much really what you want to do. Like a lot of my clients that are natural or going natural from a relaxer or different things like that. I suggest a number of things. One, I either say let's combine the hairs all together with braiding or two-strand twisting. That will allow the hair to grow and you get a different feeling from on the wear and tear level for your natural hair. Or if you have relaxed ends and you're used to having that straight hair that gives you a part and all of that, then I would say flat iron. But if you're looking to do the natural styles with your natural curl pattern, then I wouldn't flat iron that much because you could rob your hair of that curl pattern too. So you have to again associate a balance on that level. It would be very very important to know like your achieving outcome, whatever you want to get to at the end. That's where you should keep your process pretty much. Um, I've had some other questions that I think I've given a good answer to online, so I'm gonna skip a few. But info on how to maintain twist using an almond oil and water and made a spray. Is that a good decision? No, I wouldn't do that. If you're gonna use an almond oil, use an almond oil. Make sure that it's loose and thin enough to come through a misting spray top. If not, then I wouldn't use it. Those things that are too heavy going into a twist or to a lock, that lock will hold on to too much of it and it can start to break the hair also. So be mindful of that. What are some good recommended products for 8-month old locks that have not locked yet? My first question is, it's been almost a year. What happened? But being that that happened, you have to understand your textures. You can't use too much oil. You have to train that hair. You have to unify that hair. And that's the way the hair will actually begin to lock. If it's been 8 months, I would change that whole process because that's too long. You should have been locked within the first. I try to whoop his ass. You should have been locked within the first 4 to 5 months. Um, of getting this process started. You should have been maturing by now. It's been almost a year. The hair grows 3 inch, 30, half an inch, excuse me, an inch to half an inch every 30 days. So in that process, you've grown some inches, and those inches have not locked. That means those hairs have not gotten shaded into the lock base that was built. or some format isn't working. So I would try to revamp, go to my starter locking central video, and I can give you an understanding more on a starter locking standpoint. Your lock extensions from J Morgan, they're fuzzing. Is that normal? It depends on the person's method. If they did not do a good wrap method to that lock, then yeah, it's gonna fuzz. It's gonna do a whole lot of things. It's gonna slide. It's gonna get on your nerves. It has to be done securely yet tightly, but not too tight to break the hairs. You have to know if the person's hair is thin and yet they still have a full head of hair. You have to know how tight that you can make it to the scalp, how loose you should make it, how big those parts should be versus how wide that lock that you're making is going to be on there, because all of that needs to be known. You can make a really small lock on a big part of hair, and then when their hair growing starts locking, it's going to be a big puff ball on this little thin thread. That's going to be so ugly. They're going to be so pissed off at you. Or I've seen people that do these lock extensions and they're just like these little broomsticks on somebody's hair, and then their hair grow out, and as soon as it grow out, they have like that freestyle braid part on it. That pops so fast. I've seen it all. I have seen it all. So be mindful of that. You also are having a buildup issue, but it's not an oily, it's a dry, whitish ring where the extensions and the new growth meet. Oh, I see that very, very often. That is oil. That's oil, and that's oil that your scalp secretes. And the one thing that I suggest you do is get a good, deep, clarifying, cleansing shampoo. That's what's going to take that away. That's no different from everybody else. Everybody that gets a lock extension, they pretty much have that issue. That's a very known factor, even my clients, and that's because of the oils and the sweat that your scalp secretes. Once it gets there and it sits there in that little containment, it turns white over time. It does. A lot of buildups turn white. That's just one of those inevitable colors. So don't get too afraid of it. Just get it really good and clean. But while I'm on this issue, a lot of people have been purchasing the moisturizing shampoo and not the drying shampoo. Well, I'm not saying that you need to purchase that shampoo or the organic cleansing shampoo, but make sure that you have something that's cleansing that hair before you go back and put more moisturization and more oils into that, because then you will have a buildup too from just putting a lot too much. That's why I use the word balance. Balance it out. Clean it out first. Clean out the old stuff, then associate new stuff. Don't just keep putting stuff on top of stuff. So you've been getting the moisture retention, which is a super moisturizing shampoo, and the conditioner, which is another super moisturizing with protein. And that could make you guys have some really hellish bad dandruff and build up. So that's why I always say use all three and not just the two. If your hair is dry, that could mean it's dry from other reasons, but that does not mean that it's necessarily clean. If the scalp is dry, it could be dry from other reasons, but that does not mean that the scalp is always clean. It's just dry. Okay? That's where flakes come from. Flakes are dead skin. Dead skin comes from all other things, which can build craters, which can build infection. So before you even get to all of that, clean the scalp, pretty much. Missy Earthly started locks about a month ago, and the loctician used gel. Whoop her ass. Okay, my bad. Whoop, just take it to the head. Went back to a loctician after 2 weeks, and she took them down because retwisted it because she said she had to train the hair to go a certain way. This is very questionable. Should I go somewhere else? How do I tell her no more gels? Just like that. You tell her, girl, you don't put that pro style and all that shit up, I'm not giving you my money. Don't be afraid to tell these people that this is stuff that's not work for you. And if you know you bought something and you see something that really, really works for your hair, do not be afraid to say, please use this, because this really works for me. I understand you want to build your market. I understand you want to make your money, but that's your personal problem. Please do what I need you to do for my hair and stop just winging it, okay? And especially if you're going to somebody that's sitting by a refrigerator, you tell them whatever that needs to be told. Real talk. I mean, I understand that there's no license for this industry, and I understand that there's a lot of other stuff that can go as a high and buy and a philosophy. But reality is reality, and this is what's needed. It wouldn't be such a phenomenal issue if we did what was necessary. So now we can do what's necessary. But tell her to put that down, and if you feel comfortable with her and she's going to listen to you and do what's necessary, then no, stay with her. and teach her what's necessary, because she might not know me, but you do. So show her what's necessary, show her what can work, show her what you found to work for you. But yeah, tell her she can fly off with the jails, find a bridge, and just pew. All right, see you later. Do I interlock dreads, ghetto sensation? Yeah, I do. Dip tuck video. That one's for you. What do I suggest to clean up loose frizzy hairs that are on the body of the lock? Let's go back to the beginning of that. The process to palm rolling should have taken care of that beforehand. The stylist should have used certain products to make sure that hair was trained to stay inside of that, and if not, learn the pruning method to go through and just cleaning them up very well. But don't just go digging into the lock, and don't just be clipping out big chunks. Clean those hairs lightly. Do not look for perfection. In locks, perfection does not exist. Make it comfortable, make it easy, make it work. That's all that matters. The proper way to wash locks, I love you. Let me see how you say this name. FREKLEZ327. The proper way, hey, I couldn't say that. The proper way to shampoo locks. This is my proper way. I go through the first. It's depending on how thick and how thin. For my thick hairs, you get 2 deep cleansing, clarifying, drying shampoos. And I squeeze that in so tight. I make sure that gets all the way through from root to end. I do that twice. I might even let it sit for 7 minutes, just depending on how I feel your hair is going on. I look at the scalp. If you have that that thick discoloration right here, where you got a dark face with a light scalp and it got that big line, oh, you get a whole lot. I just run it all down. But you get a good deep cleansing, clarifying shampoo. You get, after that, a good moisturizing shampoos. You get 2 of those. The last shampoo I allow to stay in for a little bit, but there is no scratching to the moisturizing. That's just a good massage in all the way around, especially those edges. Making sure that you clean those edges, making sure you clean the back of that neck. And even with the moisturizing, I don't really go to the ends as much, because I'm not moisturizing the hair, I'm moisturizing the scalp to produce the moisturization through to the hair. You get what I'm saying? So that's a good shampoo. And then after that, I don't bag my conditioners, meaning I don't put a plastic cap on them. I allow that stimulated conditioner. Works awesome because it's so strong. It works even without the dryer. You can get in there, leave that in for 7 to 12 minutes, and that hair will be so manageable that it's crazy. So that's my washing technique. For those thin hairs, you get 1 deep organic cleanse drying shampoo. You get 2 moisturizations, and you get an even longer conditioning. You may stay 20 to 30 minutes because your hair is thinner. I need those proteins to put you at your maximum ability. I need to be able to do certain things with your hair without being afraid that it's going to start popping on me because it's so fine. So with those people, you get more protein and moisturization than a dryness. And with that thick hair, you get more dryness and a moisturization balance with the same amount of proteins, but you don't need as much because your hair is already at its maximum. And I don't want to steroid or fill your hair, so that's the way I just made it up. I don't want to do too much to where it just too big and then you just got this hair where we just can't do nothing, just nothing. Okay, nothing. Advice on a clarifying shampoo. Person would like to know the feeling of clean hair. If I use the clarifying shampoo and I sprayed it after to restore the proper moisture, is that still bad to use? Oh yeah, that's a bad process. No, don't do it like that. If you're going to do a good cleaning shampoo, good clarifying shampoo, then your next shampoo should be a moisturizer. It needs to be a moisturizer. So spraying the moisture into the hair, you're spraying the hair. You're not getting it to where it needs to be. The hair is going to only hold so much. The hair is a protectant. The scalp is a diffuser. The scalp is what's going to give you really what's needed. So don't go back on that level. You also dyed your hair. It's fine, especially if to use the same shampoos on colored hair, but you just have to make sure that you're not over processing with your color. If you are over processing, then you need to stick to a protein induced regimen at this point, and kind of leave the colors alone and just rebuild the hair for a minute. The colors take away from the level of enamel. That's how the melatonin and all the other pigments and stuff is changed. So be mindful of that. Be careful. Coconut oil I have seen to be okay for the hair. Just chilling wants to know. It's not too bad, but it's sometimes I've seen it to be too thick. So be cool. Zeal for knowledge. You had some in-depth stuff, and I do not mind giving you yours. Offer hair growth stimulation tips, remedies, treatments, and shampoos. My whole entity. That's what I'm about. Growth stimulation tips, my spray. Remedies, my spray. Treatments, my spray. Shampoos, theevolutionofstyle.com. Everything that I built up and put together and come together with was a level of necessity. It happened to smell good after I was done. I was proud of that. It happened to look good and be easy to format and formulate. I was happy for that. But I went with everything that was necessary. That's where I got my judgment and my feelings from. And I hope you guys can hear me good. You hear this hurricane going on behind me, but we're making it work. The pros and cons of dreadlocks. The only con I see is that a person becomes too lazy, and they don't associate the right things to their hair as they need to, because they're used to waking up in the morning with that get up and go. And that's fine, get up and go, handle your life and do what you do, especially at this life in 2011. We're more business drawn and driven than anything else before, some of us. So, with that get up and go, that's why I like to be creative, and I like to create different things so you can get up and go and still look good on the go. What's the problem?
Looks like something's flying on your face.
Oh, probably was. Bugs all out here. So, that's the only con that I can see. Not understanding, what your hair is going to do. But the pro of it is, I brought out the pro because my locks don't break. My locks just grow. My hair is shiny. It is healthy. And I've even brought some people that had like thinning fronts. I brought hair out and they were like, I've never had hair there before. It didn't grow like that. What did you do? So I think that's wonderful. The only list that you asked, you said recommend a list of hair care products that will continue to nourish and stimulate my hair growth after dreads. Everything that I sell will, on a lock level as well as a natural hair level, all together. That's why the spray is called Lock and Curl. You can do a twist out, you can do flat twist, you can do anything, and this will train your hair, moisturize your hair, and it will shine. It will be so lovely and beautiful. God, it is crazy. I'm serious. And it's just not for one particular type of hair or hairstyle. It works for hair, period. And I think that's what's more important. SMP. You asked if the Design Essentials products that I use have the ammonium lauryl sulfate and the sodium lauryl sulfate. Yes, they do. That is why I also associate proteins and other rebuilding mechanisms for the hair. Gels also have these things in them. Some of these putties and petroleums have these things in them as well. Yet they have a larger dosage of that, and that breaks the hair down. A lot of these things clog the hairs of obtaining oxygen, and that's when the hair loses its life, when it's not able to breathe and it's not able to flourish like it's normally used to do. And in normal times the hair is free, does what it wants. When it dies, it falls out, it goes away. But with locking, it doesn't have that ability to do and be itself, and is not used to that hold on weight for longer periods of time without falling out as a protecting manifestation or mannerism, whichever word, that it does naturally. So once these things starts to happen, you have to go back and balance it back out. And that's why I use a lot of the other things, because in a lot of these chemicals or in a lot of these products, everyone says natural. I'm going to be very, very honest with you and tell you that everything is not natural. And a lot of these natural products are drying the hell out of people. And I've done so many consultations. And they say, oh, my stuff is so natural. Oh, my God, it's so natural. But my scalp is so dry. And my hair is breaking off so much. Why? Because some of those things come together and they put stuff together that doesn't allow the hair to breathe, or doesn't allow the hair to do different things. Or they tell you to overindulge with these products so you can attain the best outcome. Not true. An outcome is going to come because an outcome is coming. Not because you use more, or not because you use less. So understand that. Don, I want to talk personal with you. You're planning to do braids, and you have a whole regimen that you're planning to do to start your locks. And I want to know a number of things. So I want you to call me personally so we can talk. But I want to tell those that are looking to start locks from braids, I have not seen that to be a good idea. I had yarn braids at one point in time, and they tore my hair completely out, like tore me out. Now I don't know if I did something wrong, but from what I did see, that's a fabric. That's not a hair. That's more of a thicker substance of hair. So it really didn't work on that level. My hair never really locked per se from having braids. So be careful with doing that. Be really, really careful, because you really can lose a lot of hair, okay? Omega, you have thin hair, and it's coming back slowly but surely. And you notice that in the front your hair is much thinner now that you are free-forming. Well, I'm just doing the back half so far, and I have not twisted for the last 3 weeks. And I've decided to moisturize with the Design Essentials oils mixed in water. Do you think that honestly, I think that you should free-form but interlock, Omega, because you're using water and oils and Dr. Miracles, and then you're going back to free-forming, and then you're doing water and oils and then Dr. Miracles. Your process is a little confusing to me. You're rebuilding, yet you're drying, and then you're just letting it sit there dry. Use different moisturization methods, use different products to associate. I think for you, the moisture retention and the organic cleanse will work very well with the soft interlock, and that's a good free form for you. That's something you can just do on a natural, unless you're going for the more Rastafarian look. Then still, I would still do the organic cleanse and the moisturizer, moisture retention, excuse me. That'll work really good for you. Because these other things are going to process your hair, and it's going to take you out. But you're in NYC, and I will be there, so no worries. Just give me a couple of months while I get my life together. I'm going to have bags like Oprah in like 3 days. But it's cool. Grind hard. I got bad hair. What's bad hair? Oh, you got a bad haircut. My bad, I can't read. You got a bad haircut a while back, and edges are very thin. Never had a perm, relaxers, or weaves. What can be done and how often to help fix the edges fill back in? Dr. Miracle Temple Balm. Try that. Twice a month. A good shampoo regimen. But twice a month, Dr. Miracle's Temple Balm. That should work really good for you. Okay. 07. T07. You're African American with long wavy hair, and you tried many techniques like comb coils, the two-strand twist, and whatnot, which have never seemed to hold well. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. My question one is, why aren't they holding, and what are you using to make them hold? If you're using something like a gel or something too oily, especially with wavy hair, they're not going to hold. But if you have a wavy hair, then you have a curl pattern that can be unified, and that can make that stay. If you're using a two-strand and you're using a product on that, then the frictions of the hair are not going to formulate together, and they're not going to stay. They're going to cause you many issues. So The finger coil, I think that's the reason why they stay, because they were probably a little drier, a little more natural, a little more with your own hair and texture of curls, but it didn't give you the desired look. Use a comb and put those coils together with the comb, unify them in correct manner, and I think that you would be just fine, especially if you're describing a natural wavy texture, or if you're describing that you have hair that will even finger coil. If it'll finger coil, it'll do all the other coils. Guaranteed. Okay, Miss Marifu, you're twisting the loops at night. You sleep with the wig cap on, and the last rows always come down. That's why, for those people, I suggest you taking the silk wrap and coming around the back first, and then taking it back around the back and tying in the back. Make sure you have a really long piece of silk or satin material. Tie that around the head, like Cleopatra or Maya Angelou or somebody. Tie it around the head and tie it in the back. That will hold all those edges of those locks. Unless you sleep on the bald top of your head here, then you want to cover everything. But that'll work a lot better for you, especially in that starter locking phase. I don't recommend wig caps, stocking caps, do-rags. Do-rag is going to cut you off about here. Stocking cap is going to roll. It also has the hose in. It's the once you take the stocking cap off, you have the frizzy hairs every single time you lift it up, because the hairs come through the little hose at nighttime. So try something else and make it work. But those caps never work. Always satin or silk materials. Hi, I'm trying to lock my hair, but it locks in the front and in the middle. When it comes to the back at the bottom, it unravels. I really don't know what to do. I try to use spritz, pump it up. I've even used beeswax, Jamaican lock gel. Boy, you're gonna take your hair out. Keep on here. One more time. Do not use harsh holding products. No. It's just knowing how to tie it up at night. No spritz, no beeswax, no none of that. That hair can't breathe, it's gonna fall out. You're not gonna need locks back then, you're gonna need a table fade. So, no, don't use those anymore. Please don't. Hello Damien, I started my family getting locks. My son and most of my nephews have gotten locks, and it's about my son. He's been dealing with thinning in the crown areas. His head is only, in the top of his head, he's only 19. He goes to a dermatologist and he gets shots of some steroids in his head, and it's showing some signs of growth, but not fast enough for him. It is stressing him out big time, and he likes to wear those big caps. I told him I have never wore hats. What would you do, or what do you think about people thinning that are wearing caps? Could you give him some pointers on washing and how often to retwist, and what oils to use and what not to do? I would not stress. Your hair will fall out also because of stress. Stress will make it even worse. Understand what's going on. Understand some things are not in your control. Some things we can't do anything about. It's not. But if they have things out there that will help you, that will assist you, that will really bring these things back to you without harsh side effects, and you actually seeing productivity, work it on that level if that's going to make you more comfortable, because you stressing is going to take it right back out again. What I also would not do is I also would not wear a cap all the time, because I was ashamed. I've had clients come in with keloids in their scalp, which faded to their faces, and they couldn't hide it. So actually, you're doing a great thing. Leave it alone. Be cool. Let the steroids work if they're going to work. Just be peaceful and mindful with it, and work it on that level. But stop covering it up. Don't be ashamed. Don't be yourself. You know, if somebody got something to say, hey, I got your back, man. I'm telling you. Nobody's worried about these people. We all got ailments. We all got issues. I have eczema, and I wear shorts all the time. And I wish somebody say something to call me Lazarus ankles. I wish a nigga would. I wish you would. So, man, wear your head. Be cool. Don't stress about it. Be free. And when your hair start growing, you get those locks. Get your locks. Do whatever it needs to make you happy. You are what's more important than the rest of these people standing by just looking at you. They'll be alright. What's up, Damien? I'm a dreadhead who has a few questions. I've been growing my locks for almost 2 years. I'm having problem maintaining the locks. I've had some that are thick in some spots and thin in the others. Is there anything I can do about that? I've seen a lot of people with that issue, and what makes me mad because they go back to your stylist. Your stylist is just picking up pieces of hair. You got this big ass bowl over here with this little bit thin thing over here. Why did you do that to that person? You knew that there wasn't no locks, and they didn't want that shit. They came in there looking decent to you. They wanted to look in this 2011. They want to be modern. They want to be clean. They want to be professional. That's why they came to you. So, what you doing? Huh? And I'm saying that like I'm going to give you some time to answer the question, so go ahead. Right, nothing. Anyway, so for those, I would just, those ones that are thinning, go ahead and match them and try to balance it out the best way you can, especially if you don't want to cut them out and start over. Find someone that can really associate a great level of balance to the locks and really help you with what you're looking to achieve an outcome, okay? Don't just let somebody say, oh yeah, I got you, $95. No. Make them show you what they're going to do. Make them prove to you that this is what they're going to put in your head. This is an industry of proven nature. If I don't prove to you that I can do what I can do, you guys won't be looking at any one of these videos. I don't give a damn how many I produce. So, make him or her prove to you that this is where it's at. I got you, and I'm going to make you what you want to be. Cool? Cool. Locked for 6 months and experiencing breakage around the roots and the base of the lock. Thinking of getting lock extensions to fill in. What's your advice on this? You're already thin, sweetheart. Don't put any more weight on it. Yes, I know you want hair, but let's figure out why you're thinning at your roots. Why is your locks already breaking? 6 months? That's not fair. So what was put into your locks? What was done to your head? What was cultivated when they put those locks together, even before they even touched your head and the mindset? What was done? What questions did you ask? How comfortable were you working with this person? All of that needs to be known, because I need to figure out why you're thinning. So we can fix and balance all of that out, and your hair can grow, because it's going to grow as long as you're alive. I had a client come to me. She had a nutrient deficiency where her body really didn't produce nutrients, but my girl still had hair. So if your body isn't even producing a certain amount of nutrients and it's still growing hair, and you have all of your nutrients but you're not growing hair, there's a problem. There's an association problem, and we need to fix that, okay? So that's the deal on that. So far, these were all of the questions. Oh wait, I got one more. Works out 4 times a week and teaches an aerobics class. What's the good regimen for you? Make your loctician your best friend. Y'all need to be texting every morning, what's up, Pep? Because I work out a lot, and my assistant shampoo my head so much, it's crazy. But with your hair, I think that understanding that you're going to have a little sweat in there, I would go for an interlocking for you so that you can shampoo on your own. I would purchase products at home, decent products, and I would also share those products with my loctician, so that when I went in on my every 2-month maintenance or 6 to 9 week maintenance, that we will both be on the same page. My hair would be used to certain things, and it would be great. I wouldn't recommend retwisting right now for you, because as soon as you go work out tomorrow and teach that class, you're going to be drenched. That retwist is at this point null and valid. You've wasted your money and your time. Sit under the dryer and all of that stuff. So yeah, get interlocks from someone that knows the balance and the tightness of what a proper interlock should be. Okay? Don't just go sit in nobody's chair and they say, yeah, I got you 145, and you get them 145 plus a tip, and then you come out and you can really do your aerobics classes now because you got a little S curl. No. How do I remove a bad smell from my starter locks? Why does your starter locks have a bad smell? What did your loctician do to you to have you a bad smell in the beginning? In the beginning. Ouch. I'm not playing with my butt, y'all. I'm just trying to fix these pants. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, you shouldn't really have a smell at this point, but I would shampoo. I would astringent first, let the astringent sit for like 7 minutes till you feel it really cold on the scalp. Go through, rinse that out properly, then go back and do one good organic cleansing or clarifying shampoo. After that, I would go back through with a moisturizer, making sure. But I would, if you just started locking, I wouldn't just scratch. I would just kind of rub, like the domino effect all over to make sure that it got through. But you shouldn't smell this early. You really shouldn't smell at all. But I mean, I find some people that they're comfortable with that. Like I said in some other videos, I had a guy came in, man. That dude was like, shit, braid my hair. I was like, no, you need a shampoo. He was like, nah, I just need my hair braided. Braid T guy. The best braids I ever did in my life, too. I hooked that baby up. I don't understand, but I cannot force you. I'm not in the business to make you. I'm just here to suggest, help understand the balance, and put it on the table. For all of those people that are looking to do some hands-on things, you can't get to me. I'm coming to you, New York. I don't know when I'm coming there or DC, but I'll be in South Carolina this weekend. I'll be back in Atlanta the following. And Atlanta's every 4 weeks, so you can book your appointment on that level. We're gonna do DC and New York every 4 weeks also. So we're gonna keep it balanced. I'll come to different places to do a little different class, set it up. You'll see the flyers, you'll see the reviews and all of those different things. So you'll know ahead of time. For those that hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, asking the questions, getting the knowledge, the feedback, going a little more hands-on, and being persistent with asking the questions, I appreciate you. I'm grateful to you. I'm trying to think of a thought that I can give you guys for today, and the only one I can see from last week and the week before: wash your hair. I seen some nasty buildups that makes no sense. I had one dude, I put a rubber band out of his locks. He didn't even know it was in there. Like, seriously, it was in the lock. I pulled it out of the lock. For real. No, for real. Yes, for real. And he didn't even know that it was in there. And I was like, it's cool though. I had one girl, she was like, I want my hair to be blonde, man. I ain't worried about this. I do whatever it takes. She bought me the 7-stage. Like that was supposed to, the stuff to use. But I went ahead and bleached it my way. We left some golds and some browns, some bronzers in there, which means that I didn't tear the hair up and take it all of what it was worth. And we also made it very beautiful. It looked really good, but it looks very natural, like her hair faded into the blonde versus just being you grew it out your scalp. My girl, you just as black as I am, and then depending on what light you see me in, I'm blue, black, and purple. So we're not gonna put blonde hair on this. Sorry. I love you to death. You're my friends for life. I hit you up with more information. Keep those messages coming.